Dungeon Encounters is one of those games that feels like a monkey's paw wish I made for the perfect RPG for me. But it is a title that... Wait a minute. Something's wrong. I think we're missing something. Don't worry. I got it. 1 second. There we go. That should fit the aesthetic and theme of Dungeon Encounters. I do have a few screenshots I'll be posting here and there. But this is a super minimalistic RPG. In terms of our story, so the gameplay is all about exploring this dungeon. It is 100 floors deep. Every 10 floors is its own biome, complete with its own enemies, and special rules and conditions you will have to abide by, including trapdoors, toll sections, and even invisible floors that you'll have to try and uncover on your own. Now, from a combat point of view, this is as simplistic as RPGs can get. Bad guys on the left, your guys on the right. You go through with a real-time or an active time battle system. When one side wins, the other side is going to die. Now, what makes this game kind of interesting from a combat perspective is that every character has 3 stats. You have physical defense, magic defense, and life. In order to actually hurt an enemy's life point value, you must reduce one of their defensive values to 0. Different weapons will have different properties to it, and one thing that I found very interesting is that the game has balanced itself on having weapons that will do fixed points of damage, and weapons that will do random values of damage. So a fixed damage could maybe be 3,000, while at the same rank, the random could be maybe 10,000. So you have to weigh the risks of relying on XCOM luck for your damage. Now, the only real sense of direct control or involvement you have is with equipping abilities. As you fill out each floor, you'll earn ability points, which will allow you to add these to your characters. Some will give you the ability to heal, restore your defenses. Others will make you immune to certain status ailments, and that is very important. This is an old school RPG in the way that there are many ailments that will instantly kill your entire party. I'm talking about being turned to stone, being eaten, being banished to the Shadow Realm. That is a thing in this game. And if you do not have the proper defenses, that can lead to a party wipe. And believe me, you do not want a party wipe in this game. It is a colossal pain and ordeal to get those characters back to your home base. Now, if you do get those defenses, then you can laugh gleefully, as your characters will just block those attacks and the enemies will waste their turns. As you get further in, you unlock additional quality of life features in the form of additional abilities. Progression in this game is all about numbers. As you kill enemies, you will unlock different gear that can appear in the shops that show up throughout the dungeon and back at your home base. There are hidden characters to find. There are even math and map riddles to unlock special exclusive gear. And this is again a game that in the course of about 4 minutes of this video so far, you have probably already decided whether or not you enjoy this game. And for me, it does feel almost like the perfect game for me, but in the same breath, it is definitely a case of be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about what I found so intriguing about Dungeon Encounters and how it's not really an RPG. But before we get there, if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, then check out my game design books. For entry-level students, we have 20 essential games to study, and then the Game Design Deep Dive series that takes an extensive look at different genres, with free-to-play coming in 2022. To give you some bit of footage, this is a screenshot of literally the final floor of Dungeon Encounters. I got here after falling through a trap door that took me from 65, I believe it was, to 98. So as I said at the end of the last part, Dungeon Encounters, really, in a strange way, it's not an RPG. Yes, you level up. Yes, you get gear and you equip it and you have a party. This is more of a puzzle game of numbers fighting to the death with other numbers. And it's also a game, for the first time I've had in a long while, that really gets the sense of scale right in terms of progression. And in a way, I would say this is maybe like 2 or 3 degrees removed from being like an idle game in terms of its design. As characters level up, they gain a value known as PP. And the PP value, it allows you to equip better gear. The higher the rank of the gear, the more it's going to cost to equip. This leads into a risk-reward or a dynamic of, do you give someone like one super powerful weapon? I'm talking going from doing 100 points of damage to 80,000. But it's such a drain on their stats that they can't equip any armor. So now they're very much a glass cannon. And the entire game is built on these weapons and skills and such that are inherently designed to break the rules and for you to figure out how to do said breaking. I'm not kidding, one of the items that I found is a culinary set that gives a character an 80% chance to eat an enemy. I am not kidding on that one. Now, again, with the overall aesthetics, I found the art to be nice in terms of the character and the enemy portraits. Music is a little bit weird. If you've ever wanted to listen to an orchestral metal version of the Jaws theme, that is in this game. I don't know what the audience is for that, but if you're there for it, well, here you go. But the entire game just feels like one ginormous challenge. Can you go from floor 1 to floor 99? Yes or no? And as I said in the last part, you're either going to be all in for this game after maybe the first 5 minutes, or you're going to uninstall it, refund it, and you will never play it again. For me, I enjoy this one. Again, I made it to floor 99, so I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't at least liking this game. But it does feel a little too rigid, I think, in some extent. One of my favorite party-based RPGs is the Etrian Odyssey series, who I am still, hoping and pleading we see get ported to PC. And part of what made that series work so well was having very interesting party dynamics, skill synergies, and that kind of thing. This game has none of it. So let me make it very simple. If you're someone who loves RPGs for their deep plots, complex characters, varieties of gameplay and decision making, you're not going to find that here. Absolutely not. But if you want to take dog, a dragon, a killer robot, and a panther man, represented by numbers, 99 floors into dungeons made up of tiles and more numbers, this is definitely the game for you. And I am very curious to see if Square Enix would ever attempt another game like this. Because I could just imagine, if this came from an indie developer, it would get ripped apart, I think, by just about everyone. But this game surprisingly got decent reviews from places, so either there are more hardcore dungeon crawling masochists out there, or I don't know. So with that said, we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the visuals and aesthetics that you've seen over this video. Do all the liking, subscribing, and commenting. Check out our Discord and Patreon, and come back for daily discussions on game design here and on game wisdom, where is the art and science of games.